Hello everyone, it's me again, Steve Dojo here, back to more Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and finally, the final Awoken skill for Xenoverse 2 has obviously revealed itself as Ultra Superhero. Now, I'm not going to say I called it, but I did call this months in advance. Even before the trailer came out, I already called this, that we were obviously going to get a new Awoken skill, and I accurately predicted that Goku would get it too, because he's the main character of Dragon Ball, he has to have something good and new for the final send-off of Xenoverse 2, and because we're the custom characters of Xenoverse 2, we're going to get it too. If we got Beast and we got Ultra Instinct, we're obviously going to get the new forms as well, and the newest trailer basically 100% confirms this. We see Goku overpower the super villain power, and he turns into like a green superhero aura, and our custom character's doing the same, except instead of doing it with a dark crystal, we're doing it with Fu's sword. Now, Ultra Instinct is actually extremely important to how this Awoken skill is going to work, because I want to remind you guys, Ultra Instinct is kind of weak, quote-unquote, because if you get the DLC for Ultra Instinct, you can just go fight full power during a lobby, basically immediately after you start the game, and if you beat them, you unlock it. There are people who are going to unlock Ultra Instinct before they even unlock Super Saiyan 1, by the way, so that's why it's obviously kind of weak, because you can just start up the game and unlock it. But this transformation is literally only unlockable at the very end of the Future Saga story, meaning you have to beat the whole game, you have to master Xenoverse 2, you have to raise your level cap to be able to handle these harder missions. So how much stronger by comparison is this form going to be if you could only get it at the very end of the game before we get to Xenoverse 3? The design of this transformation is actually one I like a lot. I do hope that we get something more close to the render of Ultra Instinct Goku rather than the in-game model. I do want to say, in all fairness though, in the in-game model you can see that Goku's actually been kind of erased from time. Now, who knows if Goku has the ability to fight back against this, because again, he does have the Ultra Superhero Crystal. He should have some resistance or ability to control any effects of time, but most likely it'll come down to our Ultra Superhero form that can actually fully resist time. Maybe we'll get completely new Time God moves, just like how with Pure Form Margin and Giant Namekian, it changes the moveset entirely to a new one. And again, this is a universal transformation, so it's not like it's going to be biased or prejudiced. We'll all get new movesets when we equip this. Power Pole Pro as well. Power Pole does that as well, except you don't get any super attacks, obviously. But yeah, I think that we'll get our own unique Time God moves, because again, Supreme Kai Times are her own, Frieza's are his own, and I think these will be our own. There's even a chance that our forms look different compared to Goku's, by the way. I want to point that out, because Goku's an Ultra Instinct, so what does that do for us? Because Goku's unique version of this transformation seems to obviously look very similar to UI in appearance. He's obviously just an Ultra Instinct, with this stacked on top of his Ultra Instinct. But I do like the kind of weird half-green glow passing through his body, especially in the official render art. I wish we would get something like that for our custom characters, but there's even a chance that our custom characters might not even get a crystal on their chest, since we're just channeling the power of the sword. And I don't know if Bandai Namco would actually want to put a model attachment on the character, like with the Beast hair, for example. Beast hair made bold characters just sprout a crazy amount of hair, and I don't know if they would make the crystal come out of the chest without it affecting multiple different outfits in the game. So there's a good chance that they'll just be like, you get the power-up, but no crystal. Basically, it would be Ultra Superhero, but just without the crystal. I don't know if they'll be having a new form or anything. Maybe we just get a Time God form. Maybe they'll just call it Time God. Now, when it comes to the unique abilities of this transformation, we know that characters always get things from their skill set that they're either missing or they get Time God abilities. A good example is Goku Black finally gets a Scythe, and Frieza gets Time God abilities. Now, Goku has pretty much got all of his moves in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. There's only two specific moves I think they would add to him, and I've already talked about these ones in the past. Most likely the Sliding Punch and the Ki Destroying Ki Blast. I don't think Bandai Namco is going to even remember those moves though, because they're kind of niche, even though I think they're really cool personally. So they'll most likely give Ultra Instinct Goku new Time God moves, and this makes the most sense when you see the plot that's going on right now, because obviously the whole world is falling apart and time is destabilizing. So Goku's going to need to balance that flow of time, alongside us, by the way. It's both of us that need to balance the flow of time against Fu's new ultimate form. So that's why we both have this new transformation. It lets us resist the powers of dark corruption, and also lets us stabilize or maybe even fix the timeline completely, depending on how Future Saga Chapter 4 ends and how Xenoverse 3 starts, because remember, Xenoverse 3 starting is the other half of this mystery. We know how Future Saga Chapter 4 ends, because it's kind of just, you could see it, but with Xenoverse 3, we have no idea how it starts. That's the other half of the mystery, and unfortunately, technically that makes Xenoverse 2 story only properly concludes next year when Xenoverse 3 actually releases. Now, when it comes to unique effects for this transformation, a few very obvious ones I can easily guess is that we have several mechanics that haven't been touched on, but they are getting closer to Xenoverse 3's gameplay in terms of what they actually affect now in Xenoverse 2. Because a good example is in Xenoverse 2, when they buffed Super Saiyan 3, and they buffed Super Saiyan Blue, and they buffed Blue Evolution, they did focus very heavy on stamina recovery and the defense stat, We know this is because Ki and Stamina isn't making a return so much in Xenoverse 3, if that makes any sense, and those two attributes are instead fully replaced with Ki Blast Defense and Strike Defense. And I'm just making a guess here that this new form, since it's all about resisting and fighting against evil and corruption, it'll probably be something that gives us a defense buff. We've recently had transformations that kind of lower our defense, so it only makes sense to increase our defense afterwards, because we got Beast, which lowers your defense in exchange for a basic attack buff, or it's a buff to all damage types, but it's actually less than Blue Evolved. The only reason you would use Beast over Blue Evolved is the higher Ki recovery, and for the unique Beast combo, which actually does more damage than the Super Saiyan God combo, even though Super Saiyan God does over double the damage Beast does. And even with Ultra Instinct, obviously we get the unique ability to dodge, which is a defensive measure on of itself. But Ultra Instinct gives literally 0 stats. We don't get any extra damage, no extra Ki recovery, no movement speed, no stamina recovery, no defense increase. It's just the unique dodge mechanic, and I'm not saying that that's bad, obviously, but the problem with that is that it's really, really basic, and not to mention Ultra Instinct is a very hard transformation to achieve in general. So the new transformation focusing on giving us more defense or the ability to resist status effects, stamina breaks, other weird things, etc., I can totally see it doing. There's 2 options for this though. I feel like this will either be one, a Sword of Hope, Giant Namekian, Pure Form Margin kind of thing, where it changes your moveset entirely to a new moveset, or it's just going to be the traditional transformations, where you still have your super attacks remaining underneath it, but you just get different stat increases and maybe a new effect. I want to point out, by the way, they've been focusing a lot on new effect for recent transformations. Back when the only things we got were Super Saiyan Blue and Blue Evolved, that's when it was only like, oh, here's a massive stat boost, end of story. When we got Super Saiyan God, that's when we got the new unique mechanic, but no new animations of it. It was just a unique mechanic with 0 new animations. And then it got even more intense when they gave us Beast, because when they gave us Beast, obviously, finally we started getting new animations proper. Super Saiyan God was the beginning of like proper like new stuff, but Beast gave us a new transformation animation, several new combo animations. It gave us a massive change to the character model, aura effects. Hell, we even got Beast before Beast Gohan ended up in the game. They were really generous with Beast. They were like, here you go, here's Beast a whole month before you get Beast Gohan, which, again, I can't hate on that. That was actually a very cool thing that they did. And then immediately after that, the next Awoken skill we get in Festival of the Universe is Ultra Instinct. We got those 2 back-to-back really quick. The only difference of Ultra Instinct is that you had to just walk up to Jiren in the multi-lobby, speak to him, and then you would get it. So there are basically people who are starting the game right now, who the moment they get to like level 20 or whatever level you need to be to even beat that Jiren boss fight, since it's just there at the beginning of the game, there are people who can unlock Ultra Instinct before they even unlock Super Saiyan. And I think that's absolutely insane. But that might be part of the reason why Ultra Instinct is so weak, for lack of a better word, since Ultra Instinct scales to your actual base form stats rather than multiplying your base form stats. So only if you have like really high basic attack, really high stamina, would Ultra Instinct really excel, but at base it's just kind of mediocre. Now, the reason why that's important to bring up is because this transformation, it looks like we unlock it through the story mode. A good example of transformation to unlock through the story mode is stuff like Future Super Saiyan, which you could only get for beating the whole game, and then also doing the time distortion egg stuff, and then finally unlocking Future Super Saiyan for custom characters. A Super Saiyan form, by the way, that I want to remind you, actually gave us faster stamina recovery the entire time. This was basically the OG Super Saiyan Blue. Future Super Saiyan has always been really amazing, but this is way after the base game. This is after all the extra story DLC. So again, if Ultra Instinct is super weak because anyone can unlock it at the beginning of the game, how strong is this transformation going to be, since you can only unlock it after beating the literal final story in Xenoverse 2 before we move on to the next game? And I do want to remind you guys that they can go completely bananas with this transformation in terms of its stats or abilities or animations, because this transformation will not make an appearance in Xenoverse 3. I don't think that's a spoiler. I think that's just kind of very obvious. This transformation is unique to Xenoverse 2's plotline. It's not unique to Xenoverse 2's like story in like general or the world of Xenoverse, right? It's unique to exclusively Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2's Future Saga plotline, okay? Because the story has gone this way with ultra supervillains and ultra superheroes and time anomalies and Fu's sword being left behind, elements like that won't appear in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. So this transformation will not be making an appearance in the third game. So that's the clearest indication that you have for them just going completely bonkers with this transformation, because it won't show up in the next game. There are a lot of things that won't show up in the next game. We won't get Ultra Supervillain Goku Black, Ultra Supervillain Frieza, who everyone loves. We won't get Ultra Supervillain Vegeta. Fu might not even be playable in Xenoverse 3, depending on how the story for that game goes. And if he's not playable, then obviously his new transformation from this DLC also isn't going to be playable. So this is really the final time to go completely bonkers with the ultra supervillain, ultra superhero plotline, with Xenoverse 2's plotline overall about time anomalies, until we get to Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, and we'll see how that game affects time. But for now, I do think that is a solid place to end the video, lads. Again, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and if you enjoyed, then obviously again, please leave a like on the video, don't forget to subscribe, it greatly supports the channel, and leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see next, fellas. Again, I do love you all, I hope you all enjoyed, gang, and I will see you all next time. Take care and peace. Bye bye.